Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How are you all on this fine Thursday morning, the 4th of February? I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastically well. Today, we have got the amazing, lovely John Sheary back with us, speaking all about the Aura. Now, we're going to be talking about the Aura, but we're also going to be showing you a demonstration of the equipment as well that John uses to measure the Aura. So it's quite an exciting surgery today. So let's bring John on the screen. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. Morning, everybody.
Right, John. A little bit stressed, actually, because we've just been behind the scenes trying to figure out how to fix all this. But we're there, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Or we're hoping. Technology is wonderful when it works, but when it doesn't work the way that you want it to work, it's always quite frustrating, isn't it, John?
Oh, absolutely.
So, today we are talking. Say that again? No hearing you.
In technology, when it's working, it's like cars.
Exactly. Yeah, great when it works, but when it doesn't work, you just want to chuck it in the bin. So, John, today we are talking all about the Aura. We were speaking about the Aura last week, weren't we? And how it's much more than just a little bubble of colour around your head, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And again, it's just how we use it for ourselves as well. Sometimes we forget that we've got all these amazing abilities, and we sometimes think, well, they're for everybody else, which they are, but they're also for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the Aura as well, John, I think a lot of people went away last week with some really good exercises on how they can, be in control of their own energy.
Absolutely, yeah.
They'll be quite interested to see how people got on with those wee exercises, that we gave them, and that was, listen to music, eat good food, be good to yourself, sleep better, all of these wonderful things that we should all be doing a little bit more of.
Yeah.
It would be great if we could all have one of these Aura machines in our house where we could just stand into it in the morning and
yeah, they're brilliant, even for a personal use as well.
Yeah.
I was actually found myself doing a lot of exercise, and I started measuring, and just the difference in my energy and the energy surrounding me. It was amazing to watch it, just a transformation.
So when people are exercising and doing physical activity like that, it's changing their energy field.
Absolutely, yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah. It's the same way with music. We're taught that when we're working within this movement, if you want to call it that we listen to all the downbeat music, the calming music. But I find I work better with Bon Jovi going on in the background, and it lifts your energy.
Yeah, I think that's definitely right. I think we do need to think differently. It's not always the chilled music that's going to give us energy, is it? It's usually the kind of music like AC/DC and
That's it.
Highway to Hell, or for anybody that was watching yesterday's surgery, we were talking about the Pink song I Am Here, which is a really good energy boosting song. Have you ever heard it, John?
The Kinks.
No,
probably have.
No, Pink.
Pink, aye. I thought you said Kinks.
Yeah, You should listen to it though. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good song. It's really good for lifting your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So when we speak about energy, obviously you've got the stuff to show us as well. You know, you've got your aura system to show us today.
Yeah.
So
I'll just open it up, then we can get it shared. Just a second, I did have it opened up. Right, so
just to explain while he's sorting this out, what John's going to do is he's going to bring up on the screen, he's going to share on the screen examples of what the energy, the aura system measures, the energy centers in the body. So he's just going to show us some examples of, you know, if you were to come in and get an aura reading, this is how John would be measuring the energy centers in your body. And it's fascinating. It really is fascinating.
Right, so that's it, the first one up. I start at the top and we've got the April's right up. So we're going to put her out in the limelight again.
So this is April, our lovely.
That's it, shape. Yeah. Well, she's there somewhere. No, it's not showing up. I've got it here. It's just coming up a blank screen for you, is it?
Yeah.
Right, just give me a wee sec. Just like you said, technology.
No. Let's try this one.
Nope.
Now, it did work before we came on, didn't it?
Aye. It's just typical, though, isn't it?
Aye.
Let's see. So take that down. This time. Sorry about that.
You can see the tumbleweed blowing across the bottom of the screen there.
I know. You can tell everybody's waiting, anticipating, but I think they're just going to get a blank screen here.
How frustrating is that? It's really annoying, isn't it?
I know. It's a shame. I'll open up a couple and see if that's any better. Maybe get one of them.
This worked really well when we were in practice session earlier, but it came up on the screen. For whatever reason, doesn't want to play the day.
No. I thought I'd caught it there, but
there you go.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. These are the ones.
You need to go to the doctor, John. Your equipment's still working. Say that. Sorry, we've got a wee delay going on.
Aye, I'll just stop to let you finish. These are the ones we'd use mainly in a reading anyway. And again, part of your aura, as you know, we've got all these layers. We've got the mental layer, the emotional layer. Then we go into the astral. And it pretty much reads a lot of that as well. So it lets me see just how someone is energetically, how their energy's balanced within themselves, just how much they're open. And just for talk's sake, I'm looking up at the aura power. You can see my cursor, yeah? No.
No.
So the aura power is the top right-hand one. And that's where we need to have the discipline when we're going about our everyday lives. Because we all have this aura power. And a lot of folk, especially mediums and psychics, are worse for it. Because they feel their aura should be out at 100%, 24/7, and it's just not healthy. And that aura power is when someone walks towards you, you start to feel the resistance in your own aura, and we all have that. So you can imagine you're in a crowded place, your aura's opened up to about 6 foot, depending on the person, it could be up to 9 foot, and everything you're taking off all the people that's round about you. That's why we can go home sometimes in bad moods and sore backs that don't belong to us, and people just drain you.
So really, when we're out in public, we would want that aura power to be like what it is on the screen just now, really close to the centre.
Yeah, that way it's that way. This one is disciplined. I mean, I know this is April's, and I know the work she's been doing within your shop, the work she's doing on her aura. So she's quite contained now within her own aura. And she knows that should she go out and into public, for instance, when we're allowed to go out into public, I suppose. So she's keeping that balance, and she's keeping that discipline in there now. And you can do that.
It's funny because right through the pandemic as well, April has been the one person who has been the most cautious about being close to people, and it's really funny that her energy is like so tightly around the body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I work with a lot of people, and I know that there's so much interest in this. They'll take in all the knowledge, but they'll not put it into practice.
Mm-hmm.
And we forget that. And the amount of even people in my own group that I work with, and their energy just bouncing all over the place. They're all in stressful jobs. They're all these restrictions.
Yeah.
They've got kids, and then they wonder why they're so drained. And really, it's just having that bit of discipline. Sorry, Stephen, I keep cutting you off.
I think there is a wee delay. That's all right though. But I think what you're saying there is really that, you know, no matter what, we should really be disciplined on trying to keep our energy close to ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And see, when someone was in their home environment, when they feel very relaxed and very safe, you know, and that's not always the case for some people, because, you know, I know that some people don't feel safe in their homes. So obviously we can't make that a blanketed thing. But for the general public who feel safe in their home environment, would you understand or my understanding of it would be that aura power would be way out?
Yeah, absolutely. It would just explode. Yeah. And
when the bars are right out to the very edge, would that be at about 9 feet
Yeah, depending on the person, yeah. If somebody does a lot of work on their aura, they can build up their own power, as you know.
Mhm.
And then you'll get someone who's just not into this kind of thing but doesn't understand. So they'll not need to build that power up within their aura the way we do. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. If you think about it though, John, like, could you imagine if we could actually physically see everybody's aura with our physical eyes? Can you imagine someone with that aura power right out there to 9 feet walking up the street? You know, they would look like a heavenly figure with a.
Yeah, you would be crossing the road.
And what's interesting as well, and what kind of sparks my thinking there as well, is you know how you get all these biblical pictures of Christ and he's got the aura around him.
That's right, yeah.
And that's fascinating that, you know, way back then, you know, thinking 2,000 years ago, way back then, this equipment didn't even exist.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So people were seeing this energy with their physical eyes as well, weren't they?
Yeah. And just weren't understanding it too much. Then, of course, once people started opening themselves up to it, becoming aware of it, and a lot of folks studied it. But of course, it's like everything else, they're sometimes put down a wee bit.
Yeah.
It's just being aware of just what's going on and round about you.
Mm-hmm. So that's the aura power one. That one always reminds me of Captain America's shield.
Yeah, absolutely. The stronger it is, the more it'll bounce off it.
Wow, I like that. That's really good.
So the colour wheel, that's the one top centre. And within that, that's really the balance that we're looking for. Because we all have a male and a female side. And if one of these sides is out of sync, you actually feel the difference.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, we often laugh about this though, John, don't we? That every single time I have my aura measured, I'm always like complete balance with male and female energy, haven't I?
Yeah, very much in touch with your feminine side.
I love it. You need a man who can understand the woman.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you'll see in the middle of that, there are two, there's a cross and there's an arrow in the middle of there. Again, firstly with the colour, you'll see how the colours, it's kind of aspects of all the colours within your aura. You'll see it starts at red and works its way around. So it starts at the root, works its way around to the crown.
Yeah.
But you'll see there's the cross and the arrow in the middle for your male and female side, and they're both knitted together in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we just tell me that over April's energy's right in balance there, so she's in touch with her masculine side.
She definitely is. I can vouch for that.
Yeah. She's got a house full of men, hasn't she?
Hi. April's the only woman in the house full of 3 boys. April, are you watching actually? If April is watching, like, comment below. Let us know. Because we're like poking about your energy here.
Yeah. She just happened to be at the top of the list when I opened it up. So the chakra levels, as you know, yeah, everything affects us. So everything pulls on your energy centers. And most of you will probably know that we have the seven main energy centers running through the body. They start at the base of the spine to the top of the head. And this chart tells me just where the energy is pulling on each energy centre just now. And ideally, you would love a nice balance right across there, but life doesn't dictate that.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see with the root and the sacral, or the second chakra, and you'll see a wee bit of shading in there.
Where are they on the chart, John?
Sorry?
So on that chart that's top left, so
Yeah.
the base is the furthest on the left, and then it goes.
It starts with red at the base of the spine. The orange is just below the belly button. The yellow is round about the solar plexus. The green is for the heart. Blue is for the throat. The indigo is for the third eye. That's all about the mind and the imagination. And the crown is the top of your head. And that's where we make that connection firstly to your own spirit. And should you go on and want to increase your awareness, it's when you're doing meditations, this is where you want to get to, is the connection with that crown area, to get you firstly that connection with yourself. So it's learning about yourself first, and then extending it to the spirit world or other realms if you want to go that far with it.
Mm-hmm.
But these also govern your physical organs as well. So you'll see stress can tell on it, and you'll see that mainly round about the bottom three, which is the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. Stress tells in the tummy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we always feel it round about there. So although that's going on in there, you'll see how we've got three balanced out, which is good as the root and the crown and the throat. They're quite balanced out.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see the only kind of fluctuation is with the sacral one, the second one, and everything else seems to be falling into line. So there is a good balance there. But I know April's got two wee boys, so, well, three if you count her husband as well. So that does tell on you.
It really is fascinating. You know, so ideally you would want all of those bars on the top left to be all equal, wouldn't you?
Yeah. In a perfect world, you would want just complete balance in there. So the bottom right one, as you'll see, is the emotion meter. And you'll see that the bar just up and down there slightly. And a lot of folk think, when they look at that and they think that's bad, that it's actually not. Because I've seen with some people that green line, it's like you would see in a, you call it, a heart monitor machine where it's going up and down and all over the place. And none of us are without emotion. We all have some emotion. But looking there, you can see how it's just working with it. And I know that April is well in control of their emotions. Some people don't like to show emotions. What this just tells me is you can't hide from this system as much as you want to. It tells me a lot.
So that going up and down like that, that is just balance.
It's obviously there's a bit of emotion in there.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see it kind of running smooth like that, it just tells me that she's in control of the emotions.
It's like the ebb and flow of life, ups and downs and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
And the body, mind, and spirit, that's another one I tend to measure a lot of people by. And this is just tells me how well people treat themselves. So what this is just, it tells me how your energy is distributed between the three of them. So you've got red for the body, green for the mind, and blue for the spirit. Ideally, I'd be looking in there for a nice 33, 34% balance. And although that looks quite off balance, it's actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
The one I always look for is the body, the mind or the spirit. I look at them more actually, but the spirit in particular. So I can see there that the work that April does on her energy, she might have a bit of stress, she might have that bit of emotion, but you look after your energy and it'll look after you.
So those colours, John, the green, the blue, and the red, what do those individual three things mean? Mind, body, spirit, but which are which?
Right, the red's for the body, the green is for the mind, and blue is for a spirit, which is your own spirit, not the spirit world. It's just how well you treat yourself. So if you're going to take the spiritual baseball bat out and beat yourself down, the blue would be where the red is on that the pie chart as we're looking at it now. And the imbalance is in there, and it's not a bad imbalance, it's the mind. And it just tells me that there's a lot going on in the mind. There's a lot. I mean, just working with, I've worked a couple of times with April, and I think I've given her the feedback that she spends a lot of time thinking things out. I think I think it was the last time I was up in the shop, and she came to me and she think, "Do you think I'm?" What was the words that she used? I think you were at her telling her just smile a wee bit.
Well, we've got this funny thing in the shop where see the face mask.
Aye.
We say that the face mask makes her look savage. Well, I do.
That's the word I was looking for. She came to me, "Do you think I look savage?" I'm thinking, what?
It's just, when people's faces are covered and their eyes can look like they're like.
Yeah.
Well, she's smiling underneath the mask, which is
No. But as I said till then, I didn't think she'll look that way, but you'd always look deep in thought.
Yeah.
And that is when you get that reading with the green, when people are just deep in thought, they're in their mind, they're analysing things. Not so much analysing, even just taking things in. Because I know she's a learner as well, and I know she's like a sponge taking all this information in.
Yeah.
So the next one, the relaxation level. And ideally, you'd be wanting the blue bars up as high as possible. But when you've got two kids and an adult kid at home, there's no chance.
And with that, would you think that if someone's relaxation level was so high, is that a good place to be? Like if it was like right up the top?
My own and what I tell people, and this, I've never seen it at the total top blue bar. I've never seen that with anyone unless I'm doing work with the spirit world and the effect that the spirit world had on people. But I feel you would need to be comatose to have it that high.
Aye. Would you find that people are normally bobbing around where that one is just now, or is it further up? Or
you maybe get them up another 3 bars. Generally, you'll never get it higher unless you've got someone who's got a right high energy. Because it's like when Saj came in and I worked with Saj on the machine, and just her energy is just, it's so high.
Yeah, and you can actually feel that from Saj as well, can you? Like, see, when you're in Saj's presence, she's just got this huge, big auric field.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got one of those energies that men would find her a wee bit intimidating, and women would find her a bit threatening, although she's absolutely nothing like that. But it's just the presence that she gives off.
That's really interesting, actually, because, you know, I know Saj will be very happy to confirm that, but, you know, Saj does find that sometimes that people maybe feel a little bit intimidated by her energy, and it's certainly not the type of person she is at all. It's just, I suppose it's just their energy, isn't it? You know,
that's all it is. It's just her energy. It's the work that she's done on her energy for all these years.
Yeah, and she really has done a lot of work on herself over the years.
Yeah.
So,
and I've met her a few times, and I know I've never found her intimidating or.
No.
I always find her pleasant.
I think it's when she's out dating and Saj is dating just now, and she's very much like, no, they're not the right person. They're not the right person, and they're obviously like, whoa, her energy's way too. She's too sure of herself. She's done too much work on herself. There's nothing I can do to help her.
Yeah. That's that. And that's what happens when you do work on your energy. I mean, I feel that you can have any physical ailment going on with the physical body. But if you work in that energy body, it does look after the physical. It does keep your spirits up. It does keep your whole personality, your confidence, your self-esteem. And this is where we get it from. It's from what's round about us and what's within us as well.
It would be interesting to see, I know this is maybe going to sound really morbid, but it would be interesting to see someone's results if they were, you know, on their way to the spirit world, wouldn't it? Has that ever been done? Do you know? Someone who's like in the last stages of life that wants to just.
I've not done somebody in that sense, but with the last system, I did one with someone who had cancer that later passed with that.
Right.
And that was the old system where I could get the pure white on it. For some reason, I can't get it in this one. But this person's aura was just pure white, just pure spirit.
Wow. That's fascinating, eh? That's really amazing.
Yeah.
And why was that, do you think?
Well, my own opinion is I feel the spirit world start preparing us, don't they? So they're constantly round about.
And equally with a new life, so like a baby, could you potentially have a baby and measure a baby's aura on this?
You could. Yeah. I know that testing it with my granddaughters when they were a bit younger. I mean, kids they've got such an innocent energy.
Mm-hmm.
Although they've got their own wee personalities,
Mm-hmm.
their energy is so innocent. I always find kids to be round about the indigos and the violets.
Oh wow! So kids are like way up there on the chakra level.
Yeah, it's just as they get older, I think, you know yourself, it's once they start reaching that puberty and suddenly life's drama.
That's
And
unreal, isn't it? You know, to think that, you know, our energy can be measured from such a young age, and thinking how it's in its purest form, I suppose. And then when we hit pubescence, that's when everything goes Pete Tong.
that's it.
Corrupt.
Yeah. As you know yourself, that some investigations done with poltergeists has always turned out that there's a kid in the house with going into puberty, and their energy just bouncing off walls.
That's really fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you were working with children as well, like see that aura power, where would that be? Would they be way out there, or would they be very close?
I think the person working with the kids, that would have an effect on their aura. So they would be totally drained because the kids would just suck up all this energy.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I know that when my granddaughters come and I'm with them for 10 minutes, I'm ready for sending them home again.
Yeah, so if you were measuring your granddaughter's energy on this, put your hand on it afterwards. Theirs is way here.
Aye. Exactly.
I'm sure there's loads of parents feeling like that now. Their aura power will be right doing it like 2%.
Oh, absolutely. It's all you're meeting now is people who are just so stressed at their box.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folk are just not handling this second lockdown too well.
Yeah.
And I have to give myself a good kick up the backside as well.
I have to be honest, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really enjoy the time at home, because it's not something, I don't spend a lot of time at home. I'm always.
Exactly.
I am really enjoying it, but then I think everybody will look back on this and they'll say, "Oh, I wish I was in lockdown again."
That's it. I know my own sons thought that as well, but the first one, but now the second one, and they just want to get back to work.
Oh no, I'm all right. I'm quite happy sitting here.
Aye. But it just lets you see just how everybody's energy is so different. But yourself as well, I know the amount of work you've put into working in your energy. Mm-hmm. So you're quite contained in that.
Yeah.
And the people that haven't been able to put as much time as what you, I mean, you've dedicated your life to this now for the past, 10, 15 years I've known you.
Yeah. You know, crazy, eh?
Yeah.
I think that you've definitely got a point in what you're saying there, John, because I am more acutely aware of my energy than I am of my physical energy, which sounds crazy. But I'm more acutely aware of what's going on within than I am in the physical body, which is crazy because, you know, I should be focused more on my physical body and then I wouldn't be so bloody fat.
Yeah. But you're doing that now, though. But sometimes some people, it's the way people learn. I mean, it's only in the last 6 years, 7 years that I've been kind of exploring the energy body more.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I'd done that right from the start, instead of thrown myself into the mediumship, exploring that. And it's only now I feel I'm starting to get a bit of balance with it now.
Yeah. You'll know yourself that, you know, like all my trainee mediums that are training with me right now, and are for the next couple of years, you'll know yourself that we wanted to teach them all about the energy and the aura and how that
Absolutely.
works first. Because when you can understand energy, everything else just works.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people, they'll teach people the mediumship part of it first, and then you get that whole thing where, I was feeling really drained after that. It's just the energy.
Aye.
Whereas knowing how the energy works, we can actually explain it and say, this is why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what's got me on this part of my journey as well. Just as you said, it's people saying it's just the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the amount of people asking me what colour's my aura. And I think I don't see auras.
It's interesting though, because energy is a very overused word, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Are you okay if I take that down now, John? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just stop sharing and that'll be it. Yeah.
Energy is a really overused word, isn't it? People
Yeah.
tend to explain energy for many different things, and I think without understanding what energy truly is, would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. It's the same as well. It's where for years you hear people overusing Reiki. They're Reiki this, they're Reiki that.
Yeah.
And so I went and explored that myself as well and went through the 3 degrees. And that's when I realised it's all energy work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or you need a healing. Exactly the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And they just don't realise just what this is that runs through them.
Yeah. It's
And
funny,
just,
you know, you'll see some mediums working and they'll say things like, I'm feeling the energies building here with me. If they were a bit more specific and say, you know, I can feel my energy building, which is actually allowing the spirit world to come in now.
Absolutely.
That would just make it totally different, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And in effect, that's pretty much what we do. We just expand our own energy. And after that, all that time building, so you've got this power going now, and it makes it so much easier for the spirit world to work within your aura.
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody got any questions for John as well? Because would you believe we're at 20 past? We've only got 10 minutes left again.
Again.
Just flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just going to check actually my sorry, John, ditched you there. I just had to check that the connection was right. We're not seeing many comments this morning. There we go. So yeah, anybody got any questions for John while we're here? Please feel free to ask as much as you like, and we'll get them answered in the next 10 minutes. Susie's saying that he's got the most touched yet cleanest equipment.
I know you guys up there like my equipment.
Susie, honestly. And Kelly said it was being temperamental there. So anything that you want to ask John on what we've spoke about today? So we spoke about, just to go back over them, we've spoke about, our energy, the aura, your aura power. We spoke about that whole masculine, feminine balance that we need to all have. We've spoke about the levels of the chakras and how they should all kind of be as equal as possible. We've spoke about the relaxation center, so it's that up and down. Is that right, John?
Yeah.
And we've also spoke about what else?
It's a power within our own aura, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's amazing just how you can pull on all these different layers within your aura to help benefit yourself.
Yeah. I think knowing our energy, though, isn't it? It's like a huge, big game changer.
Absolutely. It's about getting to know yourself. I mean, you can get to know a kind of personality, but I think once you get to know your energy, how your energy is working with you, it's a whole new game changer, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll realise when you're doing this work, just how the spirit world are working with you and how they've been working with you.
Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting as well is, like, right throughout, we've been speaking about all of this the last couple of weeks, and it's so interesting to see how the stuff that you're speaking about with the aura, it's matching and correlating perfectly with all the different guests that we've had in. So, absolutely everything that we do in our lives is all a matter of energy.
Absolutely.
Which is actually a good plug for your Facebook page. It is all just a matter of energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when this body, when this physical body dies, that energy, it cannot be destroyed.
No, it just changes form, the vibration changes, but it's still there.
And if someone who had a very scientific mind was asking you that question, John, what happens when you die? What happens to the aura when you die? Because how people that are of science, or they might have medical training or whatever, they will see when your body is physically dead, your body is physically dead. But then the laws of physics say completely different to that and argue that energy cannot be destroyed.
Exactly. It's even where you said everything's energy, even the very table this laptop's sitting on, everything is vibrating at a different frequency. And some's so slow that we see it solid.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go into the spirit realms of the world of spirit, it just vibrates at such a high vibration. And what I can make of that is, I know myself when the spirit world work with me, I've got the sweat running down my back. It's just the heat.
Yeah.
So touching that other world, they've got to lower their vibration or they would burn the fingers off us, basically.
It's interesting. It's really, truly fascinating, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's something I didn't accept too readily. Because I had a lot of questions, and that was one of them as well. Just what happens after we die? Although now I know that the spirit world have been about all their lives, just like the rest of us. But it's something I didn't accept too readily, and I always kept it at arm's length.
It's,
And
it's the one thing that cannot be explained as well by scientists, and that is consciousness.
exactly.
It's crazy,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's just mind blowing.
exactly. I mean, as spirits go, I mean, I've seen too much to disbelieve it now.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I just believe in it, believe in them 200%. And what I love watching energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch people's energy, even when I'm working, or I'm watching another medium. I watch the energy, the spirit world, blending with them, and it's amazing every time I see it.
Do you know what's really wonderful? Last night I had I was doing my class online, and I got the most amazing message from my granny, who passed this year.
That's right. Yeah.
I was absolutely blown away by it. It was April that gave me it. It was just the most amazing message. Now then, separately to that, right? So I suppose it's again all talking about energy. Separately to that, I had a conversation with Siobhan during the day. I'd said to her, I says, I just want a message from my granny. And Siobhan had said, and I never want a message. I'm that kind of person where I'm always neutral, but I was like, I just want to know she's all right. Because I have no felt her. I've no sensed her the way that I want to sense her, which is frustrating for me. So Siobhan had said, you're going to get a message from her within the next couple of days. Just watch where she'll find a way, right? So then last night she done that. And then I came off the Zoom call, and my lovely friend Dawn had sent me a message saying, Stephen, I've been thinking about you the last hour. Now, we were on that Zoom call for an hour and a half. She says, I've been thinking about you for the last hour, and you need to listen to this song. It's from your granny. Now, Dawn wasn't there. She didn't know what I was doing. She didn't know any of this stuff, right? But she'd said, listen to this song. And it was Andy Stewart, my granny's Healing Hymn. And see, when I listened to it, it's like the words were written for me,
Yeah.
It's even got my mum's name in it and all of that kind of stuff. Heather's bluebells were growing in Granny's garden. Now, me and my sister are Heather's bluebells. We're my mum's children.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. So to think that, she'd given that information to April and then given that information to someone completely separate who they don't even know each other.
Yeah.
Same hour. It just goes to show that energy cannot be destroyed.
Absolutely. It's amazing just how, I mean, they just want us to know that they're still there. They're still a big part of our life. They're still a big influence in our life.
Yeah.
We just forget to ask them every now and again.
Yeah, it is truly amazing though, isn't it? How energy transforms into that beautiful connection with the spirit world. And I think every single person on this planet, when you lose someone that you love, you feel their energy after they've passed. And that's not wishful thinking, is it, John?
No, that's real. Yeah, I had a young girl and it's come into my group and we were discussing energy and she just wondered how that could work over the laptops.
Mm-hmm.
How does it work? And you remember the exercise I did with your group with the energy ball?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So I got to hold out her hands. So I made up the energy ball, actually pass it through the laptop. And within seconds, her hands started tingling, they became heavy.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, John, my personal view on that is that, that's brilliant if it's in controlled circumstances.
Absolutely. Yeah.
However, sadly, there is a lot of people out there giving readings on social media, Facebook, all the rest of it. We know real training who have just had feelings their whole life. And you'll know as well as I know that the training that a medium receives, it's a lot about how we speak to people and all about our personal responsibility, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's just the potential you have to impact people's lives.
Yeah.
And you'll know yourself, you've had people coming that they've been to see a medium and they said this, they said that. You think, oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's really, some things that we hear is just crazy. But I think the whole point and what I'm trying to get across is, personal responsibility is something that's absolutely massive. And, people sending you a message on Facebook and saying, oh, I've got a message for your mother here or whatever it might be. I think that's wrong because
Oh, absolutely.
if someone wants to have any kind of spiritual guidance, they should seek it. Would you agree?
Aye. Yeah, I would always tell people to advise people just to go and explore these things. Just don't take people's word for it. Even our words, don't take it, go and explore it.
Absolutely.
But find out. And I know that my own group were watching that thing on Netflix, Surviving Death.
Yeah.
And
there'll be a few faces that you know for that as well, because well, I know Libby Clark, and I know a few of them actually.
aye, Colin Bates.
Colin as well.
Aye, I've been in their courses as well. But so my group jumped on this and they think, well, that's not for me, that's not real, and I've taken a step in and just remind them that TV is edited. You're seeing 2 minutes out of an hour-long demonstration.
Absolutely.
So go and explore it before you comment on it.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, John, that's us at time, would you believe?
Yeah. Another quick hour.
Yeah, I know, it's always a really quick hour. Every single morning, it's like, woof, it's the fastest hour of the day for me. So very quickly, Teresa's saying there, if you remember being born, does that mean that you have gone through the light? What's your idea on that, John?
I think my own opinion is we all go to that light anyway. We all come from the spirit world. We all go back to the spirit world. With kids, yourself, kids are so, they come to this life and their memories are still strong of being in the spirit world.
Mm-hmm.
It's when they get to like 10, 11, 12, it's all the memories start to fade.
It's something that I've always wondered as well, like at what point does the soul enter the body? Very early, is it at the point of conception? Is it later than that? It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a whole another hour to discuss, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'm always fascinated by the beginning of this human life, because I know what happens when we pass. I know that the soul leaves the body, detaches from the physical energy, but the bit that really fascinates and interests me is at what point does the soul enter the body, or does it even enter the body? Is it just...
Exactly.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it there? Is it present at the point in which the blastocyst starts to form and those cells come together? That whole Big Bang thing that goes on inside the ladies.
I think the whole energy thing starts when the baby's born. They say it's when the energy centres open up. So firstly, start with the root, which is a physical. Then it works its way up. When they start getting hungry, they start screaming, start feeling emotions. And then as they go on a wee bit, the imagination opens up.
I had a regression 2 years back, and I was regressed right to being inside my mum's tummy.
Yeah.
And I remember really clearly from the regression feeling, I felt it was warm and I could hear my mum's voice, and I found her voice really comforting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fascinating to think, you know, like, is that the point in which my soul was with my body?
Yeah.
So this.
No, I totally get where you're coming from. It's the same with newborn babies, and sometimes they'll use the sound of a heartbeat to calm them down, if you want, put them to sleep.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that whole question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I actually got the answer to that recently, and I found it hilarious. What came first, the chicken or the egg, John? The rooster.
The rooster. Aye.
And I was like, that's it. It's that story. It was the rooster that came first. The chicken.
Yeah.
Or without the rooster, the chicken wouldn't have laid the egg. So there you go. Anyway, John, it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you as always. And that was really fascinating today. You know, I'm sure that lots of people watching today really found that quite a fascinating subject. So next week, John, you happy again to do next week?
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. So again, if anybody has any questions for John, do just send us a wee message before the surgery, or you can just ask those questions whilst we're on. But from John and I, we shall see you next Thursday for the next Aura chat. Tomorrow we have got our very lovely Susan Watson, who is on speaking all about stress and how to manage stress, amongst many other things that Susan does. She does loads of different things. Yeah. So we're talking about everything relating to everything that Susan does, but more particularly Susan's surgeries are all about giving you methods and best practices in which you can manage your stress and manage your own well-being, actually, which in turn chills the energy field and makes us energetic.
Yeah.
Bubbles of light. Would you agree, John?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, just one big bubble of energy.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much, John, and thank you everybody watching. John, stick around. We'll have a wee blether before we go. Everybody else, have an absolutely wonderful Thursday, whatever you are doing. And from us, bye for now.
Bye.
Be strong.